Hey guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be another conspiracy theory video, and I find this to probably be so far the most interesting conspiracy theory that I've talked about because there are so many different theories, yet the mystery remains completely unsolved, and it is all the conspiracy theories surrounding Amelia Earhart. So if you guys don't know, Amelia Earhart set to fly around the world in 1937. Unfortunately, Amelia Earhart never made it back. Her remains and the remains of her plane were never found. The last people ever heard from her officially was July 2nd, 1937. This mystery remains unsolved to this day. Of course, people have always come up with different conspiracy theories as to what could have possibly happened to Amelia Earhart in 1937 and where she is right now. I mean, obviously she'd be dead right by now anyway, but if she really died at the time that she went missing, or what happened to her in general. So let's get into the different conspiracy theories. First conspiracy theory is a pretty basic one, and I'm pretty sure this one is one of the most speculated theories. It's probably the most realistic. However, there is one that I believe over it, and I will save that one for last because it's the most evidence. But this is just a basic theory and what anybody would think happened during this time. So people just believe that she crashed into the Pacific Ocean and drowned, unfortunately, because that would make the most sense, because her body obviously was never found and the remains of the plane were never found either, so probably just sunk if that is the case. However, I feel like I don't believe this theory. I feel like there's maybe more to it. I don't know, there's also talk about like parallel universes because of how things just disappear a lot. I find that it's really interesting that people and things can just so easily disappear and be gone from the world. It's pretty scary actually, but people even go into believe that the Bermuda Triangle could have had a play in it and maybe she crashed her plane over the Bermuda Triangle. Those are like more of the basic conspiracy theories that like people assume happened because it's like a plane crash and like the plane was never found, so people are like, oh, probably sank, because I feel like it's the most logical way to think. However, there are still many conspiracy theories despite that, and despite that being the most reliable slash believable theory. There's two different outcomes to like attach to the beginning of this conspiracy theory, but it was basically believed that at some point Amelia Earhart was asked by the government and Roosevelt, who was the president at the time, to go on this mission as a spy for Japan because it was around the time of World War II. That's what leads us into the two like ends of the theories. Basically like that's the beginning, but there's two separate theories that like stem from that beginning or that idea. The next conspiracy theory is that she was executed by the Japanese. So this conspiracy theory goes that people believe that Amelia Earhart landed on an island north of Guam called Saipan, and people believe this because US military quoted saying that they found Amelia Earhart's briefcase in a safe on the island to cover up the fact that the Japanese found her and killed her. So I feel like that's a pretty interesting theory. There's a lot of theories surrounding the Japanese and Amelia Earhart. The next conspiracy theory is that she never really died and she actually came back to the States but under a different identity. So this conspiracy theory goes that Amelia Earhart survived the Pacific Ocean crash, so people believe that she crashed into the Pacific Ocean but survived and found an island somewhere like close to an island or something like that, but also she was taken by prisoner from the Japanese, and then at the end of World War II the US forces found her in Japan and made her move to New Jersey under the alias of Irene Bolam. Because people realized the striking similarities between Amelia Earhart and Irene. They look pretty similar if you ask me. So people assumed that the US government made her come back to the States as this because they probably didn't want to be blamed for losing one of their people in order to spy for Japan. They made her come back under the alias of Irene Bolam. This theory was actually written in a book, and Irene Bolam furiously denied the accusations that she was Amelia Earhart, and she actually sued the author of the book for $1.5 million. I don't think she ever got that money. However, I feel like it's kind of weird. Like, that's a little bit specific. I feel like, I mean, I guess you would deny it if you were not Amelia Earhart. You'd be like, I'm not. But I feel like it's a little bit interesting that like she sued money for that, like that much money, especially at the time. Like the worth of $1.5 million was like a hell of a lot. And that's why Amelia Earhart's plane was either shot down or landed in Japanese territory. They were taken captive, and it is believed that Roosevelt did know what happened to Amelia Earhart because he was keeping a tab on her, but was executed by Japan or became Irene Bolam. The two kind of correlate, those ones, so I don't know, it's pretty interesting to think about. However, the last theory is the theory that I personally believe the most. I 1000%, I just really think this is what happened. I feel like there's a lot of evidence towards this theory, and I find it very, very interesting as well, and it kind of just makes a lot of sense. This theory is that she landed on an island called Nikomararo, sorry I can't pronounce things, but died there before anybody came to the rescue. The theory goes that she landed on the island due to being very, very low on fuel, but she still had enough fuel when she landed to make like emergency calls on the plane, because there had been reports of calls from Amelia Earhart between June 2nd and June 6th all around the world, like from friggin' Texas to Australia. Like, people have said that they've heard Amelia Earhart over their radios. I find that really, really weird and interesting in general, because it's just kind of creepy and like chilling almost. So there's been like hundreds of reports of different calls. In order for her to make calls, she would have still had to have a little bit of fuel at the time of those calls, so people believe that she crash landed onto this island and was trying to call for help. However, nobody ever came to the rescue, and she ended up dying there. There's a lot of other evidence besides the calls to this theory, such as the fact that there was items found on this island, such as plexiglass, similar to that used on the plane she flew. And not only that, but an empty jar of her favorite freckle cream was found on the island as well, which I feel like is so fucking weird, because I feel like nobody was like living on the island. Why the hell would there be a jar of freckle cream, let alone Amelia Earhart's favorite freckle cream? I don't know. I find that one pretty interesting. Most strangely, a skeleton was found on the island in 1940, and it was identified as male at first. Later was said to be most likely a tall white female. I don't know, it's pretty interesting. And not only that, but they also found a size 9 cat's paws heel, which matches the footwear in Amelia Earhart's flight pictures. So I feel like that is the most reliable theory of them all. I think that's actually what happened. I wish we could find out. I don't know if we ever will. And it also makes sense because if she landed on the island, she probably landed kind of close to the shoreline, because, you know, trying to land and have enough fuel to make calls. So she probably landed like not too far inland, so a tide could have taken and swifted the plane into the ocean where it drowned, which is the reasoning we can't find the plane. So I don't know, I find it pretty interesting, and I find all these theories super intriguing and just different and pretty exciting to like think about. I don't know. She's such like a historical figure, yet we have no idea what happened to her or how she died, and it's kind of weird. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, because I'm always posting really cool shit on there. And if you want to check out my latest video, you can click right here and click right here to subscribe for new videos every single day. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!